Hey, I'm Gary Talley. We're going to talk about the article in American Songwriter magazine about chicken picking. And there's several examples in there. And I'm just going to play them for you so you can hear how they sound, and it might help to look at them instead of just see them on the in the tablet here in the notations. So what I'm doing with my right hand is I'm playing what's called hybrid picking. I'm playing with a flat pick, but I'm also using acrylic nails on my middle finger and my ring finger. So I'm getting this kind of thing where I do a lot of these together against the alternate rhythm of the pick, like. So that open A string is my pick, and then I'm hitting two strings with my middle fingers there. So I'm going pick finger. That's alternating between my pick and my finger. The reason I use these fingers is you're actually pulling up with your fingers and it gets kind of a popping sound. If you did it all with the pick, it wouldn't sound the same way. So that's a big part of the sound, is pulling up with your finger nails or your whatever fake nails or whatever you got there. That's the working man blues lick in A. And what I'm doing there is I'm playing an A7 chord, and I'm getting the A7 chord by barring on the 5th fret, and then I'm hammering on with my second finger on the G string. Okay, then my third finger is barring on the 7th fret. And I'm picking up with my middle two fingers, and that gives it that kind of popping sound, like gives it a real poppy sound. You can do little variations of it. You know, just slight variations. And you can do the same thing up on the 10th fret for the D. Same thing on the 12th fret for the E chord, the 4 and the 5 chord. So that lick is going to be number 2 in the article, and I'm playing an open A, but I'm barring the A with my first finger, and I'm hammering on the 3rd fret and to the 4th fret of the A string. And then I'm putting my 3rd finger on the 4th fret. It's kind of an extension of the old, you know, the old Chuck Berry thing. The only difference is I'm playing it kind of hybrid style, and I'm adding more notes to it. So all I'm really doing is moving, keeping the first finger on that fret, and then I'm doing everything with my middle and ring finger. So this lick is based on a G7 chord. If you remember what a D7 chord is, open, take that kind of shape, move it up here to the 7th fret, and it's based on a G7 in the shape of an open D7. So what I'm going to do is I've got the 3rd finger on the G string on the 7th fret, and then I got my pinky on the 7th fret of the little E string, and I'm hammering on between the 5th and the 6th fret of the B string. So that's an E note going to an F note. So you can do the rhythm any way you want to, but the idea is to get the sound of this. You're going, the notes that are moving are your F and your E to F, E to F. And you can alter the, you could do a different rhythm to it, but what's giving it that sound is that hammer on there. This is James Burton's lick on Branded Man. He does little variations of this, but this is in the key of G, and then it goes to a D chord. And what we're doing is, if you listen real close, the second note of these first two notes is muted. So we're sliding from the 10th to the 7th to the 5th. Okay, and then now you can go, you can hit the D here on the B string, or you go hit it on the G string. Then we're hammering on the B string to make this D chord here. So okay, I learned this one directly from Albert Lee. I got to play with Albert over in Switzerland, and I learned this directly from his own fingers. So he does this lick in G, and it's based on a G7 chord. He's hitting the open B and the G string with his fingers, and then he's pulling off on the D string from an F to the open E. And he usually does this with triplets. Okay, so if you're in the key of G, that's the 1 chord. Then it goes to the 4 chord, which is a C, and he only plays the 1 finger. So the C chord is just the open G, and then the C note on the B string, and then the open E. Then he's going to hammer on the G string. So I'm doing it with my little finger. I can't remember which finger he used, but my little finger feels the most comfortable to do the hammer on the C. This is a little lick that Ray Flack showed me when I first moved to Nashville in '81. Same kind of thing he did on Ricky Skaggs' Highway 40 Blues album. This is a string bend, but it's like imitating a steel guitar. So you've got on your 12th fret, you've got your 3rd finger and your pinky. So you're making the 5th and the root of a D chord. Then your 1st finger is on an E note, and we're bending that E up to the F sharp note, which is the 3rd of the D chord. So you bend it up a whole step. And I'm sliding into that 1st note on the A string. Now what you can do is make the note on the A string, which is going to go from A to A flat or G sharp to G. Move that while you're doing . So this one is one that I made up. I took a lick from Chet Atkins and Jerry Reed, and I just kind of modified it a little bit to fit an A7 chord. So you play it over an A7 chord. This has got an open strings mixed up with fretted notes. A good example of this, hearing this technique, is Jerry's Breakdown with Chet Atkins and Jerry Reed. It's a good song to learn for this little technique here. And you have open strings that kind of ring over the other notes, so it gives it kind of a harp-like effect. So I'm starting with my pinky up on the 12th fret. So that's part of an A chord. I'm going from an E note to a C sharp. And then I hit the A. Okay, and the fourth note of that little 16th note pattern is an open E. Then I go to a G, which is the 7th of the A chord that makes it the A7. So I'm hitting a G note, then an E, then I'm hitting an open B string, so it's now I'm going up to, sliding up to from a C to a C sharp on the 5th fret of the G string. So I'm hitting C to C sharp, then on the 7th fret, which is an A, and then an open G string. That's another note in the A7 chord. All right, then I'm hitting an F sharp, which is on the D string 4th fret. Then I'm hitting an E on the 7th fret of the A string. And then an open D string, then on the A string 3rd fret to 4th fret, which is a C to a C sharp. And then the open A. So all that's based on the notes of an A7 chord. So you can learn a lot more about chicken picking by listening to the music of anything where Ray Flack or James Burton or Albert Lee are playing, Brett Mason and Johnny Hyland. These guys are great chicken pickers. Brad Paisley's a great one too. There are lots of things you can do with this style, and as you may have noticed from a couple of the licks, part of it is imitating banjo rolls, like the Albert Lee triplet thing. The other one is imitating a steel guitar, like a couple of those licks where you bend a string and you hold some of the other strings and only bend one string. And there are even bends you can do by bending 2 strings instead of 1 that kind of imitate the steel guitar. For instance, if we're playing a C chord, then if we want to go up to an F chord, I'm actually bending I'm going to bend the E string and the G string. So there I bent the G string and the E string, so I'm bending up to an F chord. The notes would be, but I'm bending those instead of. Well, I hope that was useful to you. If you want to get more into the chicken picking thing or anything else, we could get together on Skype. You could get a hold of me at gary@garytalley.com. I've got a DVD called Guitar Playing for Songwriters with a workbook that might be helpful, and my website is garytalley.com. Hope to see you.